Good morning, evening, and afternoon, and welcome to part 52 of Aokana,蒼の彼方のフォーリズム. I do apologize for the bit of a breaks here and there. A bit unhappy with myself for not releasing as much as I used to. But yeah. Anyway, last time we... Sorry, I'm just blanked out for a second. Anyway, we had one of our first practice sessions with Rika, or maybe it was the second one. Anyway, they had a joint practice session with Rika, and it was an interesting... I can say this. The technique he used, or the method of practice was interesting, where instead of just normally flying forward, they had to fly backwards. And it's the reason behind it was actually quite sound. It helps with the stabilization of your movements, helps with coordination and balancing, and in the end it should help them improve drastically as Skywalker. A lot of them didn't really understand what the purpose of it was, but it was for their benefit. Shindo had popped in again. How can I say this? He thought that method of training was unique and quite great. So my vocabulary is pretty shit today. After that, I think they had a little meeting about it. Sorry, my memory's just a bit shoddy today. And they went their different ways after that. They went home. Rika rushed home. And we didn't know why. But as soon as Mase was alone in his room, he had to go answer the door. And now there was Rika holding stew in a cow pot with cow gloves, cow mittens. I don't know which one would be used. Anyway, it was an interesting little interaction between them. She seemed quite thankful, which is obvious. But it was interesting, nice interaction there. And after that, she wanted to have a talk, and they talked between the windows. And she wanted to know the purposes of the training, as well as to give her thanks once again. It feels like I rushed the recap, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where we're gonna go from here on. Well, from what we can see here, the practices are already over. So this is gonna be more of like a talk, little meeting type of thing, probably. Let's see. Practice is over for the day. Everyone's changed back into the uniforms, so now we're just hanging out in the club room.
今日は涼しいですし、紅茶でも入れましょうか。賛成。
Here, Misaki just like agrees with that preposition, but the second part wasn't really needed. Anyway.
私も手伝います。あれ
Masha looks over at Madoka.
紅茶のティーバッグってどこにありましたっけ？机の下だったかな。そこにないんだったらもう私にはわからないな。
And now we are seeing I think consequence would be the right word beyond, but of Rika cleaning up. That's where some people will say that they don't like cleaning up like their desks or rooms, things like that, because they know where everything is already. If you clean it, it gets put in places they're not familiar with. So here, Rika probably put the tea bags somewhere else. You don't know? Aren't you in charge of the club room?
最近部室のことはリカちゃんに任せてたからね。
怠慢だ罰だ。まどかに罰を与えよう。
マネージャーにはいろいろ仕事があるんだから、大変なんだからまあ。
She does always leave it sparkling clean.
今は心なしかくすんで見えるような気がします。
こら聞け。
I wasn't complaining about you or anything, Madoka. I'm just surprised by how seriously Rika takes her work.
まあでも確かにリカちゃんは真面目だよね。私が気づかないとこもしっかりカバーしてくれたし。
へえ、そうだったんだ。
そうそう、めんどくさくてついサボっちゃう窓枠の水拭きとか、やんなくていいかと思っちゃう机の上の整理とか。
それは気づいてるのにやらないだけじゃ。リカちゃん向こうでどうしてるんでしょうね。
Muko, I think, is like in the opposite direction, or I think in a sense, how is Rika doing over there in a sense, like at her school, I'm guessing?
ねえ、すっかり馴染んでたからいなくなっちゃうと寂しいね。
Yeah. Make it sound like she's not part of their training anymore. Oh, I guess so. It happened 5 days ago. Wow, big time skip? Didn't even realize.
こちらで練習させていただくようになって1週間が経ちました。
And it's been a week after that also.
高藤の様子も見ておきたいので、また少し向こうで練習しようかと思うんです。そんなこと言わずにずっとこっちで練習すればいいと思います。そう言っていただけるのは嬉しいですけど。
Asuka, Rika's a Takufuji player. Of course she's gonna want to know what's going on back there.
いろいろ勉強になりましたから、ご迷惑でなければまたここで練習させていただきたいのですが。迷惑とかそんな、すっごく助かってます。全然いつでも来てくれていいよ。そうですよ。
There you have it. You let us practice a lot more stuff, so we're glad to have you.
ありがとうございます。そうだ、一度高藤に帰ったという設定で今日からここで練習をしたらどうでしょうか。さすがにそれはダメですか。
Sorry, the English and the Japanese is slightly different, but I'm trying to focus on both at the same time.
はい、私もアスカさんと練習したいですけど。じゃあ次の時に約束で。はい。
Asuka seems to have taken a liking to Rika, and because of that, she doesn't want to see her go.
必ず戻ってきますので、その時はよろしくお願いします。
I wonder how long it'll take.
リカちゃん、いつ戻ってくるんでしょうか。
I'm sure she's got stuff to do over at Takufuji, but yeah, we just have to wait.
いつ戻ってくるのかわからないのってもやもやしますね。
I mean, we have an easy access to her, so asking wouldn't be too hard.
待つ側はそういうものですよ。
Mashida consoles Asuka with a mature tone.
じゃあこっちから押しかけちゃおうか。
That is just rude. Interrupting their practice. Huh? What do you mean?
そのまんまの意味よ。リカちゃんがなかなか戻ってこないから、こっちから高藤の練習に参加しに来ましたってプレッシャーを何気なくかければどうかな。
それ何気ないかな。こっちの目的がすぐに伝わっちゃいそう。
それならそれで素直に思いを伝えるってことで。
No. Takufuji students have their own stuff to do. We can't just interfere. Yeah.
先輩、そんなこと言って 本当はリカさんに戻ってきてほしいと思ってるんじゃないですか？
Well, it would make the club room less of a mess.
荒れてない、ちゃんと掃除してる。
あら、まどかさん、この窓枠と机の上、どんなおつもりで掃除なさったのかしら。
When she started talking, I thought it was a different person, but yeah, came out of nowhere.
姑が嫁に言うみたいな口調で言うな。ぐぬぬ、マネージャーにもいろいろとあるな。
Having Rika here is a huge help, and we can do so much more in training, but
決まりですね。リカちゃんに会いにみんなで高藤に行きましょう。
no, when do we decide on anything?
行くくらい別にいいんじゃありませんか？
Ah, great, they're not listening to reason. Guess there's no stopping them now. I mean, there are probably multiple ways of stopping them, but okay. I'm not surprised that Mashiro is so invested, though. She's never shown a strong attachment to anyone other than Misaki before. Well, if you all insist, I'll think about it. But we can't cause any problems for Takuruchi. Got it? That means no demanding she return this instant or anything.
わかりました。本当はマサヤが一番戻ってきてほしいんじゃないの？
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
どういう意味でしょうか。それは自分で考えてください。
The way I view it in my current thought process of Masaya is because we haven't really had those moments with Rika where they connect closer. I feel like there isn't that just yet. So I'm reading Masaya as if it's not like Misaki sees it. Or I hope. Because right now, all I see is Masaya as a coach, as the head of the club, wanting to... I don't see it as... Anyway, because in Misaki's view, it's more romantically that he's wanting Rika back. But I don't see it that way in Masaya's view at the current moment. That's what I'm trying to say. Misaki waves her hand and gives me a coy smile.
じゃあ高藤の FC 部に電話していつなら行っていいか聞いてみる。向こうの許可をもらえば迷惑じゃないでしょ？
That is a better way of doing it, yes. True. Good idea.
みんなで高藤に行って練習ですね。気分転換にいいし、リカちゃんに会えるし、マサヤがニヤニヤしちゃうわけだよ。
Is he? I'm not. After that, we confirm a visit to Takufuji in 2 days. It's now evening, so everyone's tinged orange because of the setting sun. Asuka is gazing out of the window.
夕方になっちゃいましたね。
They're in a dojo.
ほんとだ。
Apparently Takufuji were only having a live practice session today, after which they'd have a meeting, then end club activities for the day. Rika said she'd head right over to meet us once all of that was done. We're anticipating several people from Takufuji wanting to do a joint practice session with us, so I have the girls stretching to make sure they're warmed up. Okay, so they're in
こういう
Takufuji
ちゃんと
place.
した施設だとさ、ストレッチもぐいぐい真面目にやっちゃうよね。
No. You should always take it seriously.
おやおや、普段は真面目にやってないように聞こえましたか？
It did. Do your stretches properly and you'll have more range of motion in your joints, which will help you doing matches.
関節の可動範囲が広くなるとどうして有利なんです？
Flexibility.
ドッグファイトとかで
激しく飛ぶときは全身を動かすじゃないですか。その時関節を広く動かせる方がより急な角度で方向転換ができたりするんです。おお、まるでマサヤ先輩が乗り移ったみたいです。私も以前コーチに同じ質問をしましたから。あと腕が大きく動けばタッチできる範囲も広がるんですよ。タッチできる範囲が広がる。なんか微妙にエロいですね。
微妙 is more like, how can I word this? A subtle, maybe? Subtly? It's not. Anyway, as I was saying, just make sure to take your stretches seriously.
はいはいと。それにしても高藤のみんな遅いね。
一体どうしたんでしょうか。
I was just thinking now, bit of a sidetrack here. They've been obviously quite close to Takafuji, which is obvious, but I think it would be better for the club to do joint practice sessions like this with other schools and not just Takafuji. But of course, for the story reasoning, that's understandable. I bet the meeting just dragged on late.
リカちゃんなら連絡くれるはずだもんね。
Well, I mean, if she's in a meeting and still going on, she couldn't have told us.
わかります。そういうところをしっかりしてそうです。
電話が通じないとなったら、たとえ雨の中でもマサヤのところに飛んできそうなタイプだよね。
She really is trying to push the two together, it seems. Literally no one would ever do that.
なんでもないとは思いますけど、来るのが遅いと少し不安になりますね。約束の時間間違えて伝えたかな。
Come on.
大丈夫大丈夫、ちゃんと伝えたはず。
大丈夫かな。
大丈夫だよ。お掃除はサボるけど、その他はおおむね優秀なんだよ、私は。
So you're admitting you skip out on cleaning. Oh, it's from Rika.
ほら、大丈夫だった。これから行きますよって連絡でしょうか。
I don't think so. Yeah, probably. I raised my phone to my ear. Hello. Our greeting is drowned out by Rika's voice. Sounds quite urgent. Huh? I immediately tense up. What's wrong? Did something happen?
Huh?
Everyone stares at me, having noticed my change in tone.
大変なんです。すぐに海岸まで来てください。お願いします。
Was there an accident? Huh? What's going on? Hello? She abruptly cuts the call. I doubt she heard me.
リカちゃん、どうかしたんですか？
Apparently something bad happened and we need to go to the beach. That's all she said.
大変なことですか？
I wonder if it's nothing and she just wanted us to go to the beach? I
それ
wonder.
って一体。
Well, she did say it's bad, right? Sorry, I just want to see. Yeah, it's really bad. Okay. Yeah, no matter.
急いで海岸に行かないと。
Oh, wait. Calm down.
そんな電話があったのに落ち着けるわけないじゃない。
It might just be that someone got hurt during practice and Rika's in a rush because of that.
そっか。
Monica, have you got the first aid kit?
もちろん。とは言ってもテーピングの他は絆創膏とコールドスプレーくらいしか持ってないけど。
It would look pretty bad if they go all there hoping that's not hoping, but wishing that nothing had happened, and then nothing has happened. Great, let's head over. The sun continues to set as we run toward the beach.
リカちゃん、大丈夫でしょうか？
Oh, we'll find out once we get there. From the phone call, it sounded like something had happened to one of the other club members, so at least Rika's fine. Still, I've never heard Rika so flustered before, which makes it hard not to worry. No point in thinking about it now. I've got to hurry. We finally arrive at the beach. Oh, wow.
皆さん大丈夫ですか？
Oh, what happened here? There are 1, 2, 3 Takafuji players passed out on the sand. Looks like they've collapsed from sickness or something, but nothing indicates their lives are in danger. What a relief.
まだ何が起こったかわかんないんだから安易に触っちゃダメだよ。揺らしたりしたら症状が悪化するかもしれないんだから。
Mado is right. No touching. Why does it say that one of the club's players moans? Oh, Tatooine.
佐藤井さん、大丈夫ですか？
Asuka rushes over to Satuin-san.
これってどういう？
Were they challenged by somebody and they were all defeated badly? Mashiro suddenly freezes. A moment later, we all notice the same thing. Yeah. Mashiro's staring at something. That's the girl who plays, is quite crafty in her style. Or rather, someone. A girl stands before us, backed by a gloomy cluster of clouds. Long arms, long legs, long hair, long body, well, everything. Other than us, she's the only one still standing. Her upper body hangs limp, like it's broken, as she wriggles around like a venomous snake. Then she twists as she turns to face us. Those are some impressively flexible joints. I spot her eyes through gaps in her long hair. Those are a warrior's eyes, but that's not all. You see people's eyes transform like they are doing matches. It's a natural side effect of competition. But hers are on a whole different level. There's a thirst for blood in them that's akin to a carnivore staring down its prey. She draws in a sharp breath. Something similar to fear shoots through me. I feel like she'll suck me in if I don't keep my feet rooted to the spot. Oh, what is this? Do you know what happened here? A faint laugh echoes around me and rattles my eardrums. No, I can't give in to fear. Put on a brave front, Marcia. I ask you, what the hell is going on? The girl takes a single step forward, toward us. That alone makes us all wince and take a half a step back. I feel an immense pressure flowing out from the skull. Huh? That seems to be her activation key, since her grav shoes start up. She doesn't say another word before flying off toward the sea. I can hear my heart rapidly pounding in my chest.
今のは誰ですか？
I feel like I've seen her before. I can't remember where though. I'm quite surprised because obviously for him it was a lot longer between the tournament and now. It was a lot longer for them than it is for me, but you would think that someone that's unique you would remember.
追っかけなくていいのかな？逮捕とか。
I mean, we don't know what the situation is. Yeah, we don't even know if she's done anything, though, given the situation. No, treatment comes first. They probably have concussions, so check if they're conscious or not, but avoid shaking them.
わかりました。
Perhaps.
佐藤井さん、
大丈夫ですか？
あなたはクラシナアスカですわね。他の部員は。
I explained that everyone's going around checking on her fallen comrades. Though it seems like most of them are conscious. We'll stay with you until you've all had a chance to recover a bit. I raise my head as I hear the sound of oncoming footsteps.
一体何があったんだい?
Okay, so Shindo wasn't sure when this all happened. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is they were she challenged them to flying circus. They all accepted and they all got defeated. But they all wanted revenge and they kept challenging her one by one and kept falling. That's what I thought and think. Shino-san's face is warped in shock. Behind him is Rika, who's ghastly pale. So that's why she isn't sure she went to go get Shindo.
わかりません。でも試合をしていた人が次々と倒れてしまって。
Interesting. Rika's voice is trembling.
何ですかこれ。何ですか。
Calm down, Rika. Panicking won't help anyone right now.
日向くんの言う通りだ。
Rika gives us an awkward nod. Let's carry those who can move to the infirmary.
了解。
わかりました。佐藤院さんも保健室へ行きましょう。
私は大丈夫ですわ。それより他の子たちを。
I had a feeling, knowing her personality, she would rather prioritize everyone else's safety before hers. What a model leader. Seriously though, what happened? None of this makes any sense. Guess I'll wait till things are settled down a bit to ask. We carry the people with concussions to the infirmary to send the others from Kunahama home. And the others from Kunahama home. Okay, so most other members have gone home. So from what I'm thinking is it was a normal match. But they say some people have concussions? How would that happen? Concussions is injury to the head. Or unless I'm forgetting something, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. Having a crowd of people from another school around among all of this chaos is likely to make matters worse. I remain behind with Shino-san, Rika, and Saruin-san. Luckily, she seems to have gone off lightly. The other students had relatively minor symptoms too, but they were still worse for wear, so we took them to infirmary anyway.
病院に行かなくてもいいんですか。頭痛も吐き気もありませんから平気ですわ。病院に行くために動き回るよりこうやって安静にしていた方がいいと思いますし。
Saruin-san forms a faint smile in an attempt to relieve Rika's worries.
もちろん念のため明日の朝には行ってまいりますわ。
さて、何があったのか話してもらえるかな。
Saruin-san looks at me.
日向雅也はあの場にいたスカイウォーカーを見ましたか。
Yeah, I did. A girl with really long limbs.
それなら誰かわかりますわよね。え、お二人はあの人と面識があるんですか。
Here instead of yours, because the way Rika's talking, it almost sounds like she's only talking to Masaya, but in the Japanese she's asking, do you both happen to know her in a sense? Oh, well, I feel like I've seen her before. Saruin-san breathes an exasperated sigh. Yeah, I was quite on the same page there.
夏の大会で一緒に見たではありませんか。動画裏工業の。
I think back to the summer tournaments. There was a player from Dogaura. Sorry, it's pretty hard to pronounce that. Dogaura. That was disqualified right at the start of her match. So let me just see if...
夏の大会で一緒に見たではありませんか。動画裏工業の。
Dogaura, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I remember now. She's the one who got disqualified for repeatedly touching her opponents on the first line.
そうですわ。名前は確か、黒淵という選手ですわ。
That I've forgotten, unfortunately, and the school name, but
黒淵さんですか。
で、その黒淵選手は何をしたんだい？
okay. Just a quick thought now. Normally when you have roots, this thing reduces minorities' voice. When you think about roots, you think of you set up a problem and you try and use that root to solve that problem. And when I saw that there was quite earlier on the roots, the common roots. When I had seen that there were so many characters that could be rivals for each of the main heroines, Asuka, Misaki, Mashiro, Rika, then I thought there are so many other people that could be rivals, that each one could be the person's rival in their route. So for example, I think Misaki's rival could actually possibly be Inui, because she might have a grudge over how she beats Shindo. Mashiro's rival is Mayu and Arika, because we'll see these more in her roots in a sense. Asuka's, I'm actually not too sure. It's either the Masked Skywalker, Inui, or it was somebody else. It was one of the Minamo, the sister. Sorry, because I still had that feeling that she might be the Skywalker, but I mean that's still pushing it anyway. So I feel like Rika's rival this time could be Kurobuchi, because this character doesn't have a link to any other character right now. Unlike every other character, like Mayu and Arika is to Mashiro, Misaki is to Inui, and so on. Kurobuchi is the only one that doesn't really have a link to any other character in a sense. So I feel like the main rival for Rika is Kurobuchi.
全体練習が終わってミーティングをし、解散して大半の部員は家に帰った後でした。私を含めて4人の部員が自主トレで残って海岸にいました。これから武道場に戻って久浜の皆さんとお会いしましょうと思っていた矢先、その黒淵さんが現れたんです。彼女は練習試合をしてくれませんかと言ってきましたわ。
I don't know where.
練習試合か。
もう練習は切り上げるつもりでしたから断ったのですけど、最初黒淵さんは低姿勢だったんです。高藤と試合をしてみたいんです。勉強させてください。そう言って何度も頭を下げるので、林田さんが
One of the other players that had fallen, I'm guessing. If I remember right, Hayashida-san, a guy in he's sophomore, right? Yeah. Sophomore, I think, is third year? Or second year. Sorry, I'm not too knowledgeable about American terms.
そこまで言うなら俺が相手しますと林田さんが言って、佐藤院先輩もそれを止めにくい雰囲気でした。今思えば許可を出さなければよかったのですけど。
Anyone would find it hard to refuse someone who was desperately pleading. And that only gets harder once someone agrees. Stopping them there would have been impossible.
試合開始してセカンド V を黒淵かすみが取った後、セカンドラインで激しいドッグファイトになりました。それが始まってすぐに林田さんの様子が変になったんです。
ドッグファイトの最中に？
はい、それで黒淵さんが様子が変ですと言って、 脳震盪を起こしているみたいだって。
I wonder what would have caused that.
ですので、緊急用の機材を使って林田さんを砂浜に下ろしました。
Because if you think about it, he said that he seemed unwell and that he most likely had suffered a concussion, so he doesn't know himself what happened. Huh.
そんなことがあったのに、どうして試合を続けたんだい？
偶然の事故だと思いましたの。黒渕かすみも申し訳なさそうに謝っていましたし。
黒渕さんに気の毒なことをしてしまったという空気でした。脳震盪は軽いようでしたから、私と佐藤院先輩が介抱している間に五十嵐さんが代わりに試合をするということになって。
Igarashi-san is a girl in her sophomore year, one of the ones who practiced with Misaki and the rest during the training camp.
ですけど、すぐに同じことが起こって。
What?
脳震盪を起こしたのですわ。
Ah, I found myself gulping. Okay. What? Gulping and...
その時、私と佐藤院先輩を見下ろしていた黒渕さんの唇が不自然なくらいつり上がっていて、
私たちを見下ろして笑っていましたわ。
I mean...
嘲笑ですわね。
From an angle and looking from above, it could be you looking at it wrong, but anyway. She was sneering at you?
そこでようやく脳震盪を狙ってやったのだと分かったのですわ。
She figured that out, but still chose to face her.
ええ、恥ずかしながら挑発に乗ってしまいました。
そこまで冷静さを欠くのは変じゃないかな。普段ならそんな相手と試合はしないだろう。
今はそう思いますわ。
その時はそう思えなかった？
はい。何と言ったらよいのでしょうか。その黒渕かすみの雰囲気が。
It's quite interesting with the face. What stood out for me was the eyebrows. The way they're normally shaped like this, because normally when you see a smile or like a mouth like that, you would think it's like sneering or like laughing or things like that. But then the eyebrows to me make a different picture. Like, I feel like it's hard to explain.
私も黒渕さんから変な雰囲気を感じました。
An aura, huh? Could you go into a little more detail?
見ているだけで足元が危うくなるような、引きずり込まれるような、そういう怖い雰囲気です。
佐藤君の感想は？
同じですわ。そこに行ってはいけないと分かっているのに、ポジティブな闘争心ではなくてネガティブな闘争心を刺激されると言えばいいのかしら。
Damn, that sounds intense. You do get players like that.
確かにね。
They're few in number, either because it's difficult to act that way, or simply because few players choose to try and learn how to. I'm not talking about people who just jeer and taunt here. These are players that provoke you with everything they have. Every single slight gesture, the look in their eyes, their expression, their hand positioning. The image of Kurobuchi on the beach floats back into my mind. When I think about it, she really did feel like one of those players. Before I knew it, she was already in control, already drawing me toward her. There are times when your opponent will attack relentlessly, and you find yourself thrown off pace with your stamina depleted. And at that point, you're dancing in the palm of their hands. It seems on this occasion, Sadowin-san was made to dance.
佐藤院先輩も同じようになってしまっていて、私には試合を止められそうになくて、正也さんに電話をして校舎に新藤部長を呼びに行ったんです。
それはいい判断だったと思うよ。
You shouldn't blame yourself either, SunaeVN-san. Your opponent probably has a lot of experience. Any normal person would have given in.
いえ、責めますわ。すべての面において黒渕かすみに私が負けてしまったということになりますから。
She is as strict on herself as always.
それでどうして脳震盪を起こしてしまったんだい？
One of the biggest questions.
それがよくわからないのですわ。最初の二人ももつれたと思ったらそうなっていましたし。
Is that really all that happened? Just getting tangled up with your opponent wouldn't result in a concussion, unless there was something special about the way it occurred. That's what I was thinking was, you know, they've got, you can't really touch your opponents properly, you know, because of the repulsion. Anyway, where you'll just be blown away from each other. You can't really touch each other. So that's where I feel that it's not about the touching, but more about the force of when you get pushed away from each other. That force. If that force was towards the head, maybe that there was such a great amount of force that caused that reaction. The only possibility is that foul play was involved. And even then, it's hard to do it without anyone noticing. Does Kurobuchi have some sort of trick up her sleeve?
ともかく今日のことは動画裏に抗議しておこう。絶対に野放しにしていいことじゃないからね。
黒渕さんはどうしてうちを狙ったんでしょうか？
I don't think it was a specific target. I don't think.
僕は心当たりがないな。
私にもありませんわ。
I imagine the only way to find out is to ask her directly.
そうですよね。
Rika hangs her head and stares at her feet.
もしかして。でも。
Huh, I'm just thinking now, is this perhaps related to her past? I'm on my way home with Rika. The shock from what happened earlier has kept her from saying much of anything this whole time. I'd tell you not to worry, but I know you won't listen. Still, you should try to relax a little. I imagine Kurobuchi will at least be banned from playing external matches after we speak to Dogaru.
そうですよね。
Right. Rika abruptly comes to a halt.
とっても怖いんです。
And we'll see how this continues on next time. It's quite an interesting turn of events. I wasn't actually expecting that. There's a lot of questions, but a lot of things partially answered. Okay, so we had a surprise absence of Rika during the practice. We found out that she was actually back to her school club for about a week, I'm guessing. Because it was 5 days she went missing, she was there, and then 2 days afterwards to book a practice session. Sometimes I'm actually quite surprised by the time skips in the series. Sometimes I feel like I don't know how to answer this. I think maybe I'm just not used to it. I'm trying to think of other series I've done that had major time skips, or not major, but had varying days and weeks of time skipping. But I honestly can't think of any. Most generally it happens in a relative time period, I should say. Or if there is a time skip, like say 1 week later, they normally say a week later or 1 week later. Here they have a time skip and you are left wondering, what day is it? Is it the next day? Is it a few days later? This is probably one of the rare occasions in this series where it actually mentioned 5 days later, but then 5 days earlier they said a week has gone past since they've been practicing, and I wouldn't have known that. So nearly 2 weeks have started since they've done their practice. I mean, as long as I can understand the time that has been skipped, I'm fine, but you have to really put your mind to it. Anyway, so they wanted to see Rika, the club members, because most of them are missing her in their own way. I kind of liked Madoka's interaction today's episode, because it emphasizes her role in the series in a sense, like the comedy, the relief character in a sense, and that's good. It's always nice to have that type of character here and there. That was the same with the 9th series, where we had Sora as that type of character as well. Sometimes it doesn't really hit its mark, I guess you could say. Another example would be Hoshizora no Momoria, where the relief joking character is the sister, and a lot of people didn't really like her, from what I've seen, I guess you could say. But yeah, so then we ran into that little problem with Kurobuchi and the club members collapsing with concussion. It really is an interesting situation. Like, when I saw people collapse on the beach, moaning, crying out in a sense, the way they sounded like, almost sounded like they were like sick, like poisoned in a sense. But when they heard them then they were in matches, like, what happened? At first I thought, okay, sure, she probably hit them during the practice on the head or something like that, because of concussion. But then the first question arose was when the first player who fought her didn't even realize they had a concussion until it was afterwards. So they didn't even realize that they were hit. So it wasn't really that. It couldn't have been hit. Then the second question arose, or possibility I should say, that it was possibly the I can't remember what the term they used, the things that reject each other, where you can't touch another player because of the force that is protecting the player. That reaction could possibly be what causes the shock to the head. That's the only thing I can think of, honestly. Be interested to see what the solution is, what the answer is to all of this. And then lastly, the last big question and answer is the reasoning behind Kurobuchi targeting the club members. And the possible answer is Rika herself. She has a smallest of hints that it could be what she thinks it is. Very interesting to see. But we're starting to get the overview of the route. We have our problem, 2 problems now actually. One, trying to help Rika get past her wall, and secondly, to help her, I think, possibly defeat or overcome Kurobuchi and revenge her teammates. Solutions are pretty simple as well. I think the one solution will be solved with the other solution being successful as well. She'll probably beat her, pass her wall once she beats Kurobuchi. So that'll be interesting to see. And then we got that little extra thing that I like in these routes. The hidden backstory / story, in a sense, that surrounds it all. We had a little bit of a hint earlier, the last episode or episode before that, where she was hinting about her promise with her past school classmates or clubmates, something like that. There was something about her past, and now we're getting a little bit more of it here. Something possibly to do with her past. Very interesting to see where this progresses and advances, I should say. But yeah, this might be one of those moments now where they might get closer. This is one of the few things where we haven't really seen too much of. Oh, I say that, but we had that moment at the beach that one time when doing the first practice session, but that wasn't really, there was no real connection yet. But I feel like they're going to be soon. But yeah. Yeah, that will be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please know what you thought, and I'll see you all next time.